So, hello everyone, good evening. I welcome you all to CLAT Ke Funde once again. And I'm Nilanjan and I'm the teacher of English. Good evening everyone. Shivam Bharadwaj, hello. Ayush Kumar, good evening. Rifat, good evening. P. Shivangsh, how are you Shivangsh? Good evening. Shivangsh Gaurav. Ravnish Kashyap, good evening everyone. Akshay, Premangshu, Arif Walker, I welcome you all. Join as early as possible so that I can start the session today. And it's a very new thing for you guys. Saha Abhijit, good evening. Nandita Vishwas, good evening. Neeraj Nikhil, good evening. It's really pleasing to see you guys that you are joining the session. And we have been trying our level base from the CLAT Ke Funde so that I can fulfill the need of yours. In this particular phase, we are going through, you people require lots of practice session, and we have been trying our level best to provide those kind of things to you. Vinita Bakshi, good evening. Sakshi Verma, good evening. Nikita, good evening. Babia Sharma, good evening. Okay, fine. So basically, once again, for those viewers who are joining for the first time, I would like to share a particular thing with you guys. That CLAT Ke Funde has been an initiative that has been taken from the part of CLAT Gurukul, and we have been doing a good job over here. I hope so, because all the time we are in the mood to cater the need of yours. What kind of materials you just need, so we are ready to provide through our practice session. And most of the classes what we are conducting, we have been conducting rather, and that is practice oriented. So what I hope that definitely you are getting lots of benefit over there. So it's my honest request to you, all of you guys, that if you like watching this kind of videos and attending our classes on a regular basis, you please share with the other people so that CLAT Ke Funde, the concept will be spread out among other people. And that's all what I can say. So without wasting time, let me start today's session, and it is totally related to two different topics, and that is and those topics are para-jumbled and closed test. In the last session, if you remember, that I discussed three different topics, right? The first one was, what was that? Anybody who attended that particular session, if you please. First one was idioms and phrases, right? And second one, come on guys, who attended the last session, I'd like to ask you. Another topic was, the last one was spotting error. First one was idioms and phrases, and the second one was, waiting for the answer. Look, this is a vocabulary session. No, it was conducted on Saturday. I'm just talking about Tuesday. What was that? Gap filler. Guys, gap filler. It's not all about just attending the classes. You please do remember all these things, whatever you have been practicing during the classes, because our motive is not to give the lecture and pass time over here. Rather, we would like to give you foolproof content over there, and we will be providing lots of practice session. So you people, for you guys, we have been arranging all these kind of things. So please do remember all these things. So today, without wasting time, let me discuss para-jumbled. Fine. What I have told you just now, that first one will be para-jumbled, and that is also known as rearrangement of sentences. I'd like to tell you that those people who have come from CBSE 9, 10, definitely they're well familiar with those kind of jumbled sentences. In that particular sentence, words were jumbled up. And what you was supposed to do at that particular point of time, that you need to arrange the words and make a sentence, meaningful sentence. And here, lots of sentences will be given. What you are supposed to do right now, you have to logically connect all these sentences so that at the end, we will get a coherent paragraph. And that is all about the essence of para-jumbled or rearranging sentences. It may be consisting of 5 or 6 sentences, and in a different format. We will be discussing all these things in today's session also. So first, to start with, parajumbled or rearrangement of sentences, and after that, a worksheet has been prepared on the basis of closed test. Okay, fine. What I am going to discuss, that apart from CLAT, yeah, even if you take into consideration the CLAT examination, also these kind of things may be included in near future. But yeah, this is going to be an integral part of the entire syllabus in the law entrance examinations, right? So let's move to the question. Here comes the question. It is, look, first sentence, it is written as S1. S1 stands for sentence number 1. Okay, I'm just reading it out. You just see it carefully. A new word has entered the English language in the last year. Plasticarian. In other words, someone who attempts to live a plastic-free life. Right? It's very easy. Now P, Q, R, S. 4 different sentences are given, just numbered as P, Q, R, S. Fine. And at the end, you just look here, it is written S6. S6 ending sentence. S1 is the beginning one. S1 is the beginning one and S6 is the ending one. So in between, P, Q, R, S, 4 sentences are given. Now what you are supposed to do, you have to connect each and every sentence so that logically it will be connected, and at the end, after connecting all these sentences, you will get a coherent paragraph which has definitely a sense. So I would like to give you 2 minutes time to go through that so that you can understand the meaning of the sentences, and I want to see whether you are able to connect it properly or not. And then only I will start my discussion that what should be the ideal approach. So your time starts now. 2 minutes starts now. Do it fast. Prabhangshu saying you have given the answer. Neeraj Nikhil 1C. Okay. Rifat C. Who's there? Advait Singh 1B. Okay. So I think many of you are unable to solve it out. So without wasting time, let me proceed that what should be the approach. Look guys, the first sentence if you consider, and that is written as a new word has entered the English language and in the last year, that is plasticarian. In other words, someone who attempts to live a plastic-free life. Okay, so this is the beginning one. Now the next sentence will have definitely a connection with the first sentence so that we can make a combination or we can do a pair of the sentences. Okay, so if you consider option P, yeah, that is written, the sentence that is written in P. What is that? Despite this weird connotation, the term is rapidly catching on and more people are eagerly looking for ways of eliminating plastic from their lives. Fine. Just Q. Concentrate on Q. The term is a strange one as it sounds a bit like vegetarian. Okay. Suggesting that a plasticarian is someone who eats only plastic. Moving to R, this means, now this is a demonstrative pronoun. This is a pronoun which replaces a certain noun. So definitely we can make a combination with the noun and then comes the pronoun. So it may be, it might be. Let us consider S option also. S, what is written? The term was apparently coined by Thomas Smith, a chemistry PhD student of Manchester University. So if you are going through all the sentences, you have to just put in your mind that what kind of logic you are going to pick up. If you consider the first sentence once again, a new word has entered the English language in the last year, plasticarian. In other words, someone who attempts to live a plastic-free life. So what is the meaning of plasticarian? Automatically, if I select this option, or the sentence is written as, this means buying no products made of plastic or covered in plastic packaging and making use of little plastic as possible in the home. So this denotes this particular word, plasticarian, or it also refers to plastic free life. So this stands for a particular noun. Already I have told you that pronoun always replaces the noun. For the noun, there comes pronoun. So after S1, it should be, the first one will be R, so that we can substantiate the fact that this replaces this one, plasticarian. It is a noun, and for that particular word, we have used the pronoun. Now, already you have set your first option, that is R. Without wasting time, straightway you go to the answer options. So only one option starts with R. So rest of the options will be automatically eliminated. So we will not consider the first one, that is A. We will not consider the option B because it starts with Q. Then comes R, Q, P, S. I have already selected R as a beginner one. Not beginner, after S1. So it starts with R. And if we consider, if you go through option D, it starts with Q. So it cannot be the correct option. Now, two different methods can be applied over here. First, if you want to finish it up quickly, so you must go for the option basis. You just go through the options at the end of the sentences from the answer options. If you have already selected that R will be after S1, then definitely without wasting time, within a fraction of a second, you just pick up the answer, that is RQPUS, because no other option is starting with R without C. Now, why I have selected this option? After R, we are saying Q. The term is a strange one as it sounds a bit like vegetarian. Like plasticarian, it is sounding like vegetarian. That's why the term is a strange one. Fine. So after R, it is Q. Then goes P. Why P? Despite this weird connotation, just consider this particular term, weird connotation. What do you mean by weird? Strange one. So strange, we have already selected P. We have already selected P, but before P it was Q. And in Q, you see that strange one. So that strange word directly have a connection with weird connotation. Perfectly all right? Are you getting it? Okay, fine. So if you have selected R, then comes Q. After that, despite this weird connotation, the term is rapidly catching on. This particular word, plasticarian, is having weird connotation. But still, despite that means in spite of that. In spite of that, the term is rapidly catching on. So it is something opposing the fact that having the, in spite of being a weird, in spite of having a weird connotation, still it is catching on. Fine, two contradictory things are over there that has been discussed over here. So, and finally, if you consider S, it is written that the term was apparently coined by Thomas Smith, a chemistry PhD student at Manchester University. And after that, if you go through last sentence, S6, the beginning word, that is written as whose. I'm highlighting this word, that is whose. Whose referred to a particular person. So which person? Who is the person we are talking about? Definitely that person is Thomas Smith. So definitely there will be the combination of S, and after that it should be S6. So at the last one, it should be S. It is justifying the fact. What I'm trying to say that whenever you are going through all the sentences in para-jumbled exercise, you should take into consideration several aspects. First one, you should concentrate on the pronoun. Most of the time, the pronoun, why should I say most of the time? Most of the time, almost every time, pronoun always replaces noun. So if you are finding the words like this, that, it will be always in place of some noun. And if we are talking about whose, whom, definitely it has direct connection with a particular person, and this particular sentence which is having the word like whose or whom, it should be preceded by a sentence in which there must be a name. Right. And what should be the beginning one? What should be the beginning sentence? Beginning sentence can be a statement, it can be a fact, it can be a myth, it doesn't have any connection with the rest of the sentences, but yes, if you go through, if you move ahead, definitely you can establish a particular relationship between the sentences. So what you need to do, you need to pair the sentences. You must have the combination of sentences in which they can be logically connected. So once again, I am just elaborating this particular thing. If you are still unable to follow it, here it goes like that. First sentence was a new word has entered the English language in the last year, and that particular word was plasticarian. So after that, we have selected R because this is the first word of R. So this replaces a particular noun, and that is plasticarian. Correct. After that, we have selected Q. Why Q? The term. What term we are talking about? Which term we are talking about? This particular term, plasticarian. Right. So R, Q. Then comes P. Why have I selected P? Because in option Q, it is written that the term is a strange one. Strange means weird. And if you go through the next sentence, here in P, it is clearly written that weird connotation. So strange, weird, and weird itself is there. So definitely there must be a pairing. So R, K, P. And finally, we have selected S because one name is there, that is Thomas Smith. And if you go through the last sentence, the sentence begins with whose. We are talking about a particular person. And in the sentence numbers S, it is written clearly that Thomas Smith is that particular person. That's why your answer will be RQPS. But my suggestion to all of you guys that parajumble section is not so easy that you can easily get through. You have to apply your brain. You have to think about the logical sequence so that you can easily get through this particular segment. Okay, now for quick solving, what you are supposed to do, you have several options. You can also go through the answer sections, answer options, because once you are dead sure about the fact that this is going to be the beginner one, just find that particular option in the answer segment. If only one option is given over there, why should you spend thinking on the rest of the options? Just select it and move ahead. Now, my question is to all of you guys, whether you have understood it or not. Please respond me so that I can proceed to the next question. In the coming classes also, different kind of exercises on parajumbled will be provided to you. And I'll explain each and every one with logical sequence. I'll not only select the correct answer and what is the logic behind it, definitely I will elaborate it in detail. So for this particular question, whether you have understood or not, Rifat understood, Premanshu Singh understood, very good, well done. Rest of the people, Anurag Srivastav, Shivangs Gaurav, Shivangs, you have understood, good, very good. Shivam Bharadwaj, yes sir, okay fine. Look, still I am waiting for your replies because until and unless you understand this particular logic, I am ready to explain it again, because our main purpose is that to make you understand. We are not here to pass time and we are not here to select the answer only. Right. Okay, fine. So most of the answers are coming that, yes sir, we have understood. Fine, very good. Thank you. Moving to the next question. And I can assure you once again, I'm making you sure that in the coming classes also, I will be giving you lots of exercise through parajumble exercises. They will be provided and you should think about that and we will discuss together. Right. Here comes the next question. Go through it quickly once again. 2 minutes time given to you. The time starts now. Think it out. Applying the Neeraj Nikhil. Repeat it again. Okay, Neeraj. After this one, I will go back to the earlier one. Right? You reacted late. Now concentrate this one. And after that, I will be definitely getting back. I'm getting a few answers from your side. Shikha Singh B, Ayush Kumar PQRS, okay. PQRS, 2 PQRS. Most of you are answering PQRS, 2D. I've got a new answer over there, QRPS, okay. Vinamra Mehta D, okay. So let me proceed. Right. The first sentence, once again, what I am going to read out. Women have often encountered obstacles when attempting to start their own businesses. Fine. Two things are highlighted over there. First, I'm just going to highlight the words. First one is women, and second one is to start their own businesses. So from the first sentence, what we perceive that women and their own businesses, those two aspects are correlated. And the meaning of the first sentence is that women have often encountered obstacle means impediments, hurdles, when attempting to start their own businesses. So the first sentence highlights the fact that whenever the women proceed to start a particular business, definitely, invariably, they find lots of difficulties over there. So highlighting factor is business. Now, if you consider the first sentence, some women have found difficulties overseeing the work of male subordinates or dealing with male counterparts. Okay, it can be one of the aspects, but it cannot be correlated with that particular beginning one, that is written as S1. Moving to Q. Then there is the issue of family duties, with women expected play the major role in taking care of children and managing the home. This particular issue is related to the hurdles or the responsibilities or the issues women are taking. Moving to R, banks have been more reluctant to offer financing to women planning to launch a new business. Now here you stop for a while, you think it twice, because I have already mentioned that in the first sentence, women have often encountered obstacles when attempting to start their own, and after that it is business. I have already mentioned that the highlighting factor is starting a business. So definitely the next sentence will have a connection with that business. If you find out R, in this particular sentence, it is written that banks have been more reluctant to offer financing to women planning to launch a new business. And in the first sentence also it is written to start their own business. So business and business, both the words are there. That's why automatically after S1, you are going to select which one? That is R. That is R. Once you have selected R after S1, automatically, if you go through the answer options, your two options are eliminated straight away. All right. Option B, it starts with P, it is eliminated. Option D, it starts with Q, it is also eliminated. It will save you time. This should be the right approach or ideal approach. By this particular process, it will save your time. Competitive exam is all about managing your time. If I give you 10 minutes for one para-jumbled, definitely you will be able to get through that. But that will not be the purpose of your examination. You cannot complete the entire section. So better to adopt that particular technique which will save your time. And this is the right method that you can eliminate the options and you should go for the right option. So we have left two options left over here. Option A, it starts with R, and once again option C, it also starts with R. Right. Now, in between the sentences, for the time being, I am just going to skip out. What I am concentrating, the last pairing. S6, it is written that Just listen carefully, go through carefully. They're just as capable as men at founding, running, and growing a new business. From this particular sentence, what do you understand? This particular sentence clearly states that the positive aspect of women. It has positive sense. It doesn't have any negative in that, because women are just as capable as men at founding, running, and growing a new business. So the sentence that will be coming just before that one, or rather we can say that S6 will be preceded by a particular sentence that will have a positive note. And if you go through option S, what is written on sentence number S, fortunately, however, the situation is changing, and today more and more women are proving to the world that. So if you concentrate this particular word, fortunately, it is also having some positive sense. So S will be followed by S6. So ending will be with S, and in both the options, it ends with S. Starting with R, ending with S. So here the equation is almost identical. Now in between, you have selected the first one, that is R. Banks have been more reluctant to offer financing to women planning to launch a new business. Okay. Then whether it should be P or it should be Q, what you are going to select? That is a big question. Okay. Now if we consider P, some women have found difficulties overseeing the work of male subordinates or dealing with male counterparts. And if you consider option Q, then there is the issue of family duties, with women expected play the major role in taking care of children and managing the home. So which sentence is to be given the preference? Which sentence is to be given the preference? Satyam Khare, hello sir, good evening. Good evening, good evening. Just now concentrate in this particular sentence. Now it should be RPQS or it should be RQPS. If you think about this particular sentence, some women, you first you have selected R. It is written that banks have been more reluctant to offer financing to women. And after that, if you are going to select P, some women have found difficulties overseeing the work of male subordinates or dealing with male counterparts. Okay, it's a fact. But before that, it comes this one, Q. Why is it Q? Because after R, what kind of problem? This particular sentence is clearly stating the problem for the women to start a particular business. Here it is written, banks have been more reluctant. Then what comes next? What is the next problem? Here it is. Then there is the issue of family duties, with women expected play the major role in taking care of children and managing the home. So definitely RQ. Some women have found difficulties. Now another aspect. Some women found difficulties overseeing the work of male subordinates or dealing with the male counterparts. That is another aspect. But fortunately, however, the situation is changing. Right now, the situation is changing. And today, more and more women are proving to the world that. So the correct answer will be R, Q, P, S. Okay, guys. It can be a bit confusing for you. The more you practice, the more the logic will be substantiated. Okay, to a few of you, maybe to a few of you, you people are thinking that RPQS can also be considered. But actually, the thing is that banks, once again, let me repeat that, banks have been more reluctant. Reluctant exactly states the negative one. And after that, if you consider that some women have found difficulties overseeing the work of male subordinates or dealing with male counterparts, that is different kind of aspect, right? Banks have been reluctant. This is a problem. Another problem, if we are talking about, then this one. Then there is the issue of family duties. It comes first. And then comes the question of some women have found difficulties overseeing the work of male subordinates or dealing with the male counterparts. In this particular way, we have selected RQPS. Okay, guys. If you have any confusion, definitely you are most welcome to put forward that so that I can be concentrating on that particular fact. And in the coming classes also, we'll be practicing lots of questions over there related to this kind of para-jumbled exercises. This one, close test. Another example is that is close test. Okay. Mankind, what do you mean by close test? It's a kind of passage in which certain blanks will be there. You have to fill up that particular blank. From the options, you have to select the correct word so that it can be best fitted to that particular slot and it will give a correct meaning over there. Here comes the passage. Go through it carefully. Your time starts now. I am giving you 3 minutes time to go through that. Please. Shivangs, today I have discussed 2 different para-jumble exercises, and in the coming classes also, whenever I'll be conducting the classes of para-jumble, definitely you'll be a part of it and we will discuss more so that your problem will be solved, right? Don't worry about it. Don't be panic. Shivam Bhardwaj, are you quite familiar with this? Saju B, you are quite familiar with this close test? Shivam, waiting for the answer? Saju B, no sir. Okay, fine. Shivam Bhardwaj, respond quickly. Pramanshu, Jan, side please, okay? Rifat, okay, so let's start without wasting time, right? Mankind has seen rapid dash in the last 150 years because of the mass manufacturing techniques. Mass manufacturing techniques has evolved and mankind has seen rapid dash in the last 150 years. If we consider the last 150 years, so definitely we will focus on the transformation, a radical change over there. With the advent of different kind of things, the situation gets changed And here in the first sentence, it is written, mankind has seen rapid dash in the last 150 years because of the mass manufacturing techniques. So, according to the first, what are the options written over here? First one is havoc, second is transformation, third one is destruction, and fourth one is violence. If you consider, if you think it out, if you go through the options carefully, you find that first word, havoc, it's a negative word. Second word, transformation, it's a positive word. Third one, destruction, once again negative word. Fourth one, violence, once again negative word. And the first sentence clearly states about the positive aspect, because in the last 150 years there has been a change, everything has been transformed in a different thing due to, because of the mass manufacturing techniques. So your answer should be a positive word, and only one positive word is there, and that is transformation. So havoc, destruction, violence, all the three words will be eliminated, and your correct selection will be transformation. Is it clear? Fine. Now moving ahead, in Western, I'm just going through a readout from this part. Because of the mass manufacturing techniques in Western nations and later taken to a new levels of efficiency by Japan. Okay, fine. Now after techniques, discarded, what does it mean? To throw something as useless one. Resorted, indulged, perfected. If we are talking about the manufacturing techniques, it is definitely for the good thing. It cannot be for the bad one. So it should be perfected. Because discarded, to throw something as useless one. Resorted, that cannot be the answer. Indulge, to engrossed or engaged in something else. So perfected means to make perfect. So definitely perfected in Western nations. Manufacturing techniques have been perfected in Western nation. Okay, fine. So your correct answer will be D. Moving to third, blank. Slot. And production for the masses became the basis of new business strategies. Large-scale consumption by all with the social benefit of dash poverty. In number 3, the options are removing, nurturing, appeasing, fondling. Now removing means to get something removed, nurturing, rearing something, appeasing, satisfying somebody, something, and fondling, taking care of that. Here what we are talking about, every technique has been applied or every step has been taken to remove or eradicate poverty. So it's all about removing. It's not all about appeasing. You are not supposed to appease poverty. You are not supposed to nurture poverty, and that is not the objective of us. And here also through the passage it has been clearly stated that so different kind of techniques has been adopted with the social benefit of removing poverty. And in this particular context, I would like to give you one trick, that after of, whenever you are going to use a particular verb, it should be always in the ing form. Of becoming, of going, of doing, of removing, like that. But in the option, all the words are ending with ing. So that tricks will not work out here. So you have to depend on the meaning or the contextual meaning of the passage. And in this way, we are going to select option A, removing. Up to this one, anybody has any doubt? Please respond so that I can move on. No, sir, refer. Okay, good. Shivam Bharadwaj, it's so confusing, sir. Shivam, it is not so confusing. You are making the things confusing. Rather, don't be confused, be focused, and you will remove the word like confusion from your dictionary. Okay. The thing is that while I am just going through this particular exercise, I am explaining, you should ask me that, sir, why have you selected this particular word? Until and unless you ask me that what kind of confusion you are having, How can I come to know? So you please raise your question so that I can solve it out. Now it's clear. Okay, it has to be clear, Shivam. Deliberately, if something has been made confusing, so there is no answer from anyone else. So better to be focused, and I will answer you number of times you are going to ask me question, number of times I am going to reply. But at the end of the day, there will not be any word in the dictionary like confusing of yours. Fine, got it. This is the way we teach our students. We are not here to just entertain you guys. We are here to deliver the right content over here. So please carry on, no issue. So moving to the next one. Number 4. Removing poverty became the dominant economic strategy. Okay, fine. The advent of electricity and its large-scale application to lighting, heating, and operating machines added a fresh dimension to manufacturing. By the 1950s came now number 4. Options: additions, gadgets, modifications, variety. Now, what should be the answer? Education first, clear. Shivam Bharadwaj, fine, sir. Okay, thank you. Finally, you have understood what I want to convey to you. Get focused, Shivam. Everything will become easier for you. Additions, gadgets, modifications, and variety. Your correct answer will be modifications. Why have I selected modifications? Very simple. Now, if you go through this particular segment, look, by the 1950s, starting from this line, I'm changing just the color. Let me change the color so that it can be visible. By the 1950s came what? In electronics was there, earlier one. But by 1950s, modifications have taken place. And once a thing is modified, definitely it will be improved. So here came modification in electronics and transistor devices, to be followed by innovations in microelectronics. With the advent of electricity, this thing, modification came in electronics. And this kind of devices like electronic devices and transistor devices. So once it is getting modified, it is followed by innovations in microelectronics. Once electronics has been modified, it has greater impact on microelectronics. It is getting innovated due to modification in electronics. Right. Now, if you select the answer like additions, so what kind of additions? It is not talking about the additions. It is all about the modification. If you have selected additions, there must be a particular thing which should be mentioned over here so that we can make it clear that if this particular thing has been added. So there is no question of additions. Rather, it should be modifications. And once you are specifying the things like gadgets, now it is not going to be the answer. There may be plenty of things. And it is not a thing to be added in electronics. Right, there are so many other things also. So why are you specifying this particular thing? So your correct answer will be option C. Moving to 5. Computers and various forms of sensors, all of which 5 altered the manufacturing scene. Now, if you go through the option number 5, immediately, precisely, irreversibly, indefinitely. Now, what should be the answer? If you go through the line, once again, I am just going to repeat that. Computers and various forms of sensors, all of which altered the manufacturing scene. Altered means change. The manufacturing scene, that particular scene has been changed. So the focus is only one thing, and that is to change the manufacturing scene. So it should be precisely. It cannot be immediately. It cannot be irreversibly. Irreversibly means that cannot be reversed. and indefinitely for unlimited time. So here focus is only one thing, and that's why we are going to select the word like precisely. All of you got it or not? Shivansh? Moving to number 6. Which altered, so already we have selected precisely, which precisely altered the manufacturing scene. And the last sentence, many new products can be dash on computers and their behaviors simulated on them. Options are designed, produced, manufactured, sold. I repeat the sentence. From here, I'm just going to highlight it. Many new products can be dashed on computers and their behaviors. In computers, application can be designed. It cannot be produced. It cannot be manufactured. If you're working on computers, many things can be designed. Application can be designed. It cannot be produced. It's not a shop, it's not a factory, it's not a unit that you can produce something, and you cannot manufacture something. Rather, if you are working on computer, you should be focusing on always designing something. So that's why automatically the options like produced and manufactured will be removed. Sold, it doesn't have any connection with this one. Many new products can be sold on computers. How can the things be sold on computers? It's absolutely rubbish to select this kind of option. So automatically option B, C and D, all the 3 options are removed. Only one left, and that is design. The logic behind it is that if you are working on any computer, you are going to design something. It can be application, it can be any programming language. You are going to design it. You are not supposed to produce it or manufacture it. I have tried to give you some idea that what should be the ideal approach to tackle the questions related to cloze test. It requires lots of practice. I can assure you that in the coming sessions, whenever I'll be conducting the classes like this, these 2 chapters will be included in that, and different kind of questions I will put forward to you guys so that you can get through. You will try to understand. And after that, Saju B, your answer is, sir, in 4th question, can the answer be variety? Okay, let me explain. Saju. Number 4. Okay. Just going through this. Removing poverty became the dominant economic strategy. Okay, fine. The advent of electricity and its large-scale application to lighting, heating, and operating machines added a fresh dimension. So, look, the thing is that already it is written added a fresh dimension to manufacturing. So, it is already talking about the varieties thing. And after that, by the 1950s, came variety in electronics. What is the meaning of variety in electronics? What are you talking about variety? Various things on electronics, various products based on electronics can be talked about. But variety in electronics, what do you understand by that? It doesn't have any sense. It doesn't have any proper meaning over that. Look, this is the kind of system we are talking about. Electronics was there earlier. Now modification is required, and that has been done over there. So after that, after modification, something gets improved. Just let me give one example. Before attending the class in CLAT Ke Funde, definitely you did have a little bit of knowledge about cloze test or parajumbled or spotting error or something else. Fine. After attending the classes, a few classes, your knowledge level has been modified. It has been enhanced. Now you can go for the next level. So once certain thing has been modified, then comes variety, then comes variation. At the beginning, variety is not there. At the beginning, modification takes place. And after that variation comes, then comes innovation and finally end product. Got it, Saju B? Am I clear to you? Okay, sir, it's clear. Thank you very much. It means betterment, Shivam. Yes, you are absolutely correct. It means betterment, which all you guys need. to attend the classes or interacting with the teachers or passing comments, all these things. Definitely. Good, very good. Practice, practice and practice. Practice sheet provide kar dijiye sir. Shivangs Gaurav. Yeah, of course. I'm trying to give it to you. So this is all about from my side today. Every class, in each and every class, I will definitely give you a practice sheet in the form of worksheet. Actually, we are proceeding, we are discussing all these things. My main objective is that to satisfy you guys, and all the time I believe that your suggestions, your feedback, that is the most important thing for the teachers, and definitely we should appreciate all these things from your side too. That's why we connect to each other in a better way, right? So I'm going to end this session. If you like this particular video, if you like all the explanations, definitely you are going to share with other guys. You spread the words of CLAT Ke Funde. Look guys, we are trying our level best to satisfy you. So definitely it will be for your betterment. There is no other option. Neeraj, Nikhil, thanks Guruji. Okay, fine Chelaji, no issue. So that's all. Thank you very much. And if you have any query, let me just remind you the routine itself. On Monday, GK class will be taken by Abhinav sir. Tuesday, English will be taken by me. Wednesday, analytical reasoning by Sudhir sir. Thursday, critical reasoning by Anurag sir. And Friday, it will be taken by legal. Legal will be taken by Abhinav sir. And Saturday, vocab and answer will be taken by me, Nilanjan sir. And the rest, quantitative technique, once again, it will be taken by Sudhir sir. Okay. Now, if you have any query, all the numbers are given over there. Website is also given. WhatsApp number is also given. You can also attach yourself to Telegram channel. So if you have any query, any kind of doubt, you please share with this. Thank you very much. Stay home. Be safe. Thank you.